Okay, this is the tutorial for on how to do a cartoony swoosh spinning smoke following a flying character. This is for like our student Vini projects where the character is spinning and flying and spinning around and then land on the bed on the left side, but this is somewhat something similar, all right, so that the student can follow this tutorial. Okay, so what I have here is I have my, let's say this is, imagine this is the character and the character is flying and it's like following the curve here, but we need to add a trail of a cartoony smoke effect. Okay, so let's start. For this one we're going to use the end particles, so we go to the, make sure you go to FX and then go to end particles. You don't have to select anything, just end particles. Make sure in the create option you choose cloud, okay, the cloud type, and then after that you create the emitter, so click this, then you will create these two things. The wind smoke is actually, I can name it actually. Okay, let me just show you that again. Just delete. Let me clear also. Right, okay, so starting back over again. So if you go to end particles, you choose the cloud and then cloud here, and then you go to create emitter. You can click the option here, then you can name your emitter. So I name it as wind smoke. Emitter type, we're going to use the omni type. Okay, particle rate is default, so it's 100, right? And that's it, no need to touch other things, just click create. Okay, so if I go to wireframe, you see this is the nucleus. So I'm going to bring this up so you can easily see it and pick it from the screen, and this is the particles, right? So go back to number 5. If I play now, you'll see that it's an omni type, as you can see in the attribute editor here, right? Omni. So if I change to directional, then it will fire on a certain direction, so we want it to be omni. Okay, all right, then what we need to do is, let's go back to the beginning of the frame. Let's put this emitter down, or maybe like behind the character. Okay, and then I'm going to constrain the parent to the model here. You can, the character, so you can actually parent it to the hip or the root of the character controller. All right, so for this one I don't have a controller for this. I'm just going to parent this straight to the character model here. Okay, so I'm going to select the wind smoke. Okay, select, make sure you start from the beginning. Select the model first, Control Shift, select the wind smoke. I can select it. Oops. Okay, select the character, hold Control. If you're selecting just in the outliner, you click the wind smoke. All right, so the wind smoke is the last selected one, and then you're going to apply the constraint. Go back to mod rigging, go to constraint, go to parent here, click the option, make sure maintain offset is checked. All right, this one, and then click add. Okay, so before you do that, before anything, you need to check. So if you select the emitter, the wind smoke, the attribute of the translate X, Y, and Z and the rotate X, Y, and Z must be blue color, not the character. If the character have the blue color, which means you are doing it wrongly. Okay, you're constraining it wrongly. So the order is you must select the model first, and then you select the emitter. The emitter must be the green color selection. The model must be white outline selection. Okay, all right, because you'd be surprised, a lot of students make mistake on that. Then let's see, let's play. If I play now, you will see that the emitter follows the controller, I mean the character. Right, so that's good. Let's play that and see. There you go. All right, it's a good work in progress, but the particles just stay on and on. We do not want that. We want the particle to have a limited lifespan. So let's tweak on the settings. So let's go somewhere here. Okay, then we can see where we can see a long line like this. Let's go to the first. We need to go to the emitter first. Now the emitter, it emits 100. If you open the basic emitter attribute, the 100 is a bit not much, so let's put that about 200. And let's play again and see how. So now we have more dense particles. Okay, all right, that's one, and maybe put 300. Yeah, we want it to be a bit more solid, so let's go 400. All right, that's looking good. Okay, let's see what else we can modify here. Speed random, I think at this point nothing much to change already. Okay, let's go to the other parts, which is the end particles. On the nucleus side, everything should be fine. Okay, yeah, it should be fine. Nothing, there's no need to change here. Okay, let's go to the end particles. This is where the magic happens. Okay, let's play that. All right, first let's go to the count. Okay, for the end particles, go to the count. Of course we cannot change it, so that is showing what, 464 particles is up. Right, so now we go to the lifespan. Go to lifespan. This is where we can control each particle life, like how long it will live in the 3D space. So right now it's live forever, so that's why it's not going to die off, right? So let's limit that. So click here, and then I'm going to choose constant. 1 is too high. I'm going to put 0.2, and let's play and see. Okay, that's really short, so let's add about 0.6. Yeah, that's good, right? So we want something like that, to 0.6, maybe going up a little, 0.65, slightly longer. Okay, all right, so that's done with the lifespan, and then we can adjust the particle size. Now this particle, if it's too big for you, go ahead and adjust particle size. So I'm going to put 0.2. This should be fine for this animation. If you feel you need to make it smaller, just go ahead, 0.1 7. Okay, so a bit smaller. Right, and then let's go to the radius scale. Okay, this is the best part, because we do not want it to have the same size consistently all along here. Okay, how do I put that? Like, it's all same size, you see that? So what we want is to have to control this size. So let's select the end particle again under the radius scale. Okay, so we want to change over here. All right, so it's already set to H, but we're going to adjust the color here. So click this one. So let's add a color. You start to see the difference there. Okay, we want to, okay, this is the beginning part. I want to make it slightly smaller. And okay, then we need to make this way smaller until that it erase some of this. So you see that it starts small from this size, and then it grows bigger, and then it becomes tiny to no existent, something like that. So let's play that again. See, so we managed to create something like this. Maybe not too big, depend on how subtle you want it to be. Okay, that's the radius scale. See, there's a lot of things here actually. So let's check what else we can change. Collision, no, not going to deal with any. Self-collide, if you turn this on, the particles will self-collide with each other, so that will create too chaotic there, so better not, right? And let's move on to dynamic properties. Okay, now let's see something here. You see the smokes is still like bubbly. If you like this kind of cartoon smoke, then you can just stick with this, but if you want something a bit more different, you can still adjust, you know, just particle size and stuff like that. Just make it a bit more bigger, like that, right? So you can adjust to your liking to get it to what you want. But let's say, I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna adjust this. So let's say I don't want this kind of version. I want something else. I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment in the emitter here itself, right? The emitter. So right now it's set to omni, so I want to set to a direction. Okay, so if I hit play now, you will see that by default it's not going to be there. Let's just play that again. By default it looks like this. Actually, the x1, the direction is x1, so it looks okay, but there's a problem here. See, there's jaggy here. It is because of, you know, when you change to direction, it enables this settings, and this is the set to default. So if you don't want that, if you want a smooth curve, you can just put it to 0 and just play that, and there you go, you got a nicer looking. You can also add 1 to Z if you want. All right, but that doesn't do much different. Just put 0. Just 0 out this direction, so it doesn't actually shoot the particles in a XYZ direction. It's just going to accumulate here, and because it's following this model, it will automatically create a trail. So this smoke is more like a trail smoke. All right, let's pause something like here. Okay, let's maybe try to improve on this part here. So let's go to N particles, radius scale here. We might want to, you know, tame it down a little bit and just make it more bigger here, right? Okay, so something now that looks nicer. I can add a bit of, yeah, so that there's kind of like nice transition of thick to thin. Okay, then this is what I want to go for and suggest to our Vini students to do this kind of smoke, more cartoony, but it's not really like, it's more like a wind gushing kind of effect, not really smoke that we want to go after actually. So just now the original one was more smoky, this is more like a wind gushed. So now the next part is the shading, right? We go to the shading part, and now we can determine what how to look the color of it. So you see this under the color, so that's why you have that blue at the end. At the end here, this is the beginning. If I click here and change the color to red, you see it begins in red color. So if I want maybe just a tad bit of blue, okay, I can do that. I can change the color I want here. Yeah, so it's going to make it more almost the same color, a little bit of blue, not really much. Okay, that's supposed to be wind. Let's go reverse to the top here. So the particle types, if you go numeric, then it's just like a matrix number. You change to multi-streak, sphere, right? But yeah, we want that clouds now. Okay, and skip to opacity. Okay, this what I want is I want the end part here to be transparent, so we can play with the opacity here. And if you want to make this what call this wind gushing effect illuminate like an energy, you can play with incandescent. Let's see if I start putting some colors here, then when you render it will sort of illuminate. But yeah, for now I'll just keep it to black, right? Okay, so on this area here for color, sorry, for the opacity is where we need to change a little bit. So let's click this option. So what I want is okay, let's play first and see. Okay, so if you want to make it more transparent, you can go ahead and reduce this value. This is to control the beginning part. Wait, sorry, this is the end part, right? This is the beginning part. Yeah, you wanted something like that. Okay, yeah. So this is to control the opacity. Right, now basically that's how you do it. It's kind of sort of done, right? But no, it's time to render this. I got my lighting set up, there's a sky dome, and let's render and see what we get. That's now another issue that we need to solve. So if I render this now, you will see a bit different. Like this is a solid model, this is more blurrier. Okay, reason why is because Arnold doesn't support fully on the cloud properly. Okay, when you Arnold render, when it doesn't support properly here. So what we need to do, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when you just still got like last thing to do here, you notice that in the beginning it's actually quite not bad. Okay, but like say for example, once it reached to the end, does the particle just going to stay there? So how do we kill the particle to not emit the particles, the emitter to stop emit particles anymore? So that one we have to animate. So then we touch about the rendering. Okay, so this is the last part of the animation. Then we handle the rendering part, the issue on that. This one we need to go to the nucleus, if I'm not mistaken, not this one, sorry, the end particles, sorry, the emitter itself, where we have to animate this basically. Okay, so for example, at frame 0 it's not going to start emitting 400 particles. So we're going to right click, set key. So at first it's 0, and then as it moves to frame 5 or maybe frame 10, then it will ramp up to 400. Okay, so we have some animation there from frame 0, ramp up to frame 10 all the way until here. We're going to set a key again, 400, and 5 frames, or at frame 80, frame 90, we're just going to kill this off, put 0. So let's see what we get, what we got. Okay, so like that. Maybe we can tweak this earlier. Alright, like that. So how to control is at the basic emitter attributes, rate particle per second. So we animate this. Okay, so that issue, this part is done. Now let's talk about that rendering just now. So when we render, we got this problem here that it's not as soft in the viewport. And how do we make it a bit more transparent? It's just white. Okay, the problem is Arnold doesn't support this shading, so we need to adjust we need to give it a new material. Okay, so we select the material, the hypershade. So we need to create a new material under Arnold shader. Under volume, we need to add AI standard volume. So click one there. I'm going to name this as the wind material. Okay, and we're going to assign to the N particles. Right, so assign wind particles like so, and let's try to render and see how it looks like now. See that? It changes its physical form. So let's do some tweaking here. Let's go into graph network this. I guess be hard to see here, so I just close this and just go to the attribute editor here, play around with this. Okay, so we have the density. If I put 6, you will see it's more darker. So we put it to, if you want it less, you can put 0.5. Then you see less of this smoke. But let's keep it to 1 first, but the color is not really correct. We want it to be white. So click the color box, make sure that it's really white. So now you have this more lighter color. Transparency, if you need to make this transparent, go ahead and reduced. Yeah, let's just test because it's a bit hard to see the transparency here. I'm going to put a ball overlapping here. All right, so let's see. So now I can see through, right? Yeah, so now you have this nice kind of transparent wind effect. You can go ahead and play around with it more. Where is the thing again? The wind material. So if you want it to be more opaque, go ahead and opaque it. So just, I want to make it more transparent, like so. Even you can go to the extent like that. Okay, now the other things, you can play around with a lot of things here. All right, see what works, what's not. For me, I guess this should be okay already, like diffusion. See if it works. It does, you know, like what you want. Diffusion gain. All right, like so all these things, you can play around with it. Color weight, not sure what that, yeah, okay. So basically it's just making it black. Not sure you can put more than that. Yeah, 1 is the maximum. Yeah, then you can play with density. Also can adjust with the transparency for that. All right, so basically, yeah, those are the settings that you can do. If you want the smoke to be different color, go ahead. Now it's a different color. Not smoke, sorry, I keep on saying smoke. It's the wind effects, right? But yeah, that's how you get your wind gushing effects. Right, all the best. Bye bye. Oh yeah, sorry, always forgot about this. Obviously you want to cache it first before you do further animation or rendering it, right? So don't forget, to cache this, you go to, and yeah, this one here again, the same thing, the create cached. So let's say start from beginning, just go to end cache, create a new cached. Okay, so click that. Oh, it says you need to select it first, sorry. Yeah, select the end particles, cached, new cache, cached. Okay, done. So now if I scrub the timeline, I can see it's already cached out. And yeah, if you need to do any changes, need to update it, you have to delete the cached, because if you do changes, you won't see any changes here. You need to delete the cache first. Okay, then it becomes resimulation again, and just cache it again. So click here, then it says, oh, it's already existed, the name is this one here. Just say replace existing, then it will recache again. And that's it. All the best. See you in the next video, whatever. Bye.